Here we go, guys. Third match. King Sejong Station. Should be a fun one.
Yep, it's set number 3 here. The final match of this losers match. Who's the one to get out of this group and go to that final match? Is it going to be Rogue or GuMiho? Let's jump into the game. Game number 3. Up here in the top left in the red, the Zerg player from the generic Green Wings. It is Rogue.
Down here in the bottom right, GuMiho.
Simple, sweet.
Keeping it real.
Yeah.
Now, Valdez. We did see Rogue react much better. I think he might have realized after game 1, oh yeah, it's GuMiho. He goes mech all the time. I have to be ready for it. I have to make roaches in time for it and defend efficiently. And GuMiho was going for a much more of an aggressive mech style that game, staying a lot longer on 2 base, and looking for a lot more ways to really crush the economy of at least one of the bases of Rogues. The Rogue staying strong, not losing any real amount of drones. And instead, getting way ahead.
Yeah. We're going to see CC first once again from GuMiho. And what if Rogue makes blind roaches and GuMiho goes bio?
Then it gets awkward. then you got to hope that Rogue is as good as Hyun when it comes to messing Roach Hydra and see if that works out.
Well, first things first, CC does come down. Hats first out of Rogue. Do we see double hats before pool?
Not without the Overlord scouting it now.
Yeah,
the only time
I guess I'd be pretty greedy.
Only time you'd ever see that happen is maybe Catalina when the Overlord can actually get to the natural in time.
Yeah.
So you'd always want to see a pool after that because this map is also pretty common for Reapers. And if you're going to go 2 hatch before pool against a Reaper opening, you're going to lose an ungodly amount of drones.
Yeah. You are correct, Moonglade. And finally, the Overlord is going to get to the base and see the CC. Gas once again here out of GuMiho. Pretty quickly. No double barracks, no triple barracks even.
Yeah. Just going straight for that gas. I mean, not too much of a surprise. Usually the 3 sort of racks would be saved for the Protoss, just so they have enough Marines to deal with Oracles and whatnot. 1 racks you can get away with against Zerg, but Zerg's never really going to have that much aggression early on. That way to get into your main base with any sort of air unit. So you can go for that 1 racks into pretty early Hellions, which is, I'm pretty sure, exactly what we're going to see from GuMiho.
Yep, factory coming down. Going to complete that wall. And the Overlord is going to see it and just float away. Once he does see it, he sends out that... Oh, no, just going to the natural. Reactor, so you were correct. Hellions it is. Reactive Hellions.
Man, I got my finger on the pulse when it comes to GuMiho, dude. I don't know. I just know this guy. And we did see I guess not much earlier. Same sort of style from Rogue to an extent. See if Rogue's going to go for a fast third base. He's going to get the idea that maybe, just maybe, we're going to see mech once again. What has he got up his sleeve? Focusing on droning up, not much else for now.
SCV scout on the map. Speed about to finish here. Some lings have popped out already, I believe. No? Not yet. So Queen's here, just going to defend.
And we are going to see drone go for the third. Then it decides to change its mind. Instead, we're seeing 1 gas go down to the natural. So similar build to last time. And instead, going for an earlier lair. And then making some Zerglings.
Okay.
Queen has to stop this SCV.
Stim.
And we're seeing Stim from GuMiho. So hold on a second. Let me just see what this Overlord saw. Overlord did not see much.
Sees one Marine.
Sees a Marine patrolling. Doesn't see much else. But I think Rogue has made the right choice here. Because he's going for a spike roll at the front. He's going for a 2-base kind of muta style that you'd normally see against a normal sort of Terran that would be going mech. Sorry, a normal Terran would be going bio. So Rogue has made the right choice in this case.
Nicely done. Now that same Viking coming out of GuMiho, as we saw in game number 1, just to be annoying, clean up the Overlords, possibly clear up a path for a medevac to do drop, possibly with some Marines. And there's that Spire we were talking about.
The one scary thing is that we do not see a Baneling Nest on the map. One frightful thing that could come back to bite Rogue very shortly, as we do see Stim is only half done at this point. So it's well on its way, and if we don't see a Baneling Nest soon, then a Stim sort of drop could do critical amounts of damage.
Yeah, and that's why this Overseer Scout is so important. He's going to come in here and see the barracks on the tech lab, researching something. He's got to assume it's Stim, and we should see a Baneling Nest come down quite quick.
Yeah, he'd be scrambling for that Baneling Nest at this point, but still nothing yet. He's just a little too busy with these Hellions, and finally going for his third base. And yeah, there it is. Thankfully for him, though, there's going to be no sort of armory anytime soon. No drop just yet either. And a massive commitment to killing these Hellions at the back.
Yeah, Los Queens getting pretty far off creep. 3 Overlords and an Overseer have gone down so far. It's a lot of supply to remake up in Overlords.
A lot of minerals as well. Ooh. Yeah. It's pretty nice, sort of kind of a cool style that we do see from GuMiho, adding those extra Vikings. Like 3 Vikings is something you'd never really see a normal Terran go for. They'd maybe go for 1 and clear around the edges and whatnot, but 3 you can actually be pretty aggressive with them and kill a lot more Overlords.
And they're decent against the mutas as well. I think we saw Marine King, was it, in Pro League? Someone did this as well, trying to defend at a third base against mutas. It didn't go quite well because the micro was kind of off, but...
Yeah, I think that was Marine King, and it was against Life, and Life...
Yeah, and I think Life just crushed him, right?
Face crushed him.
Yeah. So let's hope that doesn't happen to GuMiho, unless you're a Rogue fan. Here are the mutas in the base, just 6, and going immediately for that gas.
That gas. We do see enough Banelings to really defend against what we see GuMiho moving up with, so long as they get the connections.
And the micro's decent. He's going back over that missile turret here. But a big Stim out of all those Marines. They're trying to find the mutas.
Oh, so close.
That base still hasn't landed.
Really nice creep spread from Rogue, especially outside the 4th base that he will be taking. Generally on this map, Zerg will always want to take the 4th base that is behind the debris, because you can spread creep out from the natural very early on.
Yeah, very true. And yeah, just continuing to add tumors there. It's going to be one of the thickest creeps we've seen in a while, at least over there at that 4th base.
A thick cluster of creep.
Oh my god, that's gross.
A lot of tumors.
Well, just 7 mutas committed to at this point. Just continuously trying to poke at that gas to get some damage done. But the Vikings over the missile turrets are pretty good at defending it for now. Creep going to continue to push its way out.
And when it comes to upgrades, we do see GuMiho is quite ahead. Well, not quite ahead, but he is going to have his 2-2 much earlier than we are going to see from Rogue. And Rogue actually has not even taken his 4th base yet, but I find to be very surprising. Finally, it goes down, but I think he could have got that a while earlier, considering how far out that creep is. Yeah, he would have had no problem whatsoever defending against that.
Yeah. Well, this drop should be cleaned up, at least for now. And some Banelings trying to come in towards that 3rd base. A lot of those mules.
Oh,
not the greatest hit. It's a pretty good pull there. A pretty good pull out of GuMiho, actually. Saved a lot of those SCVs. Mutas will clean up this drop now, medevac included. And coming on to creep is GuMiho. This is a huge number.
Hit. Yeah. That was very good. Ooh. And I'm loving this creep spread from Rogue. He is on point. He's exactly where he needs to be. The only kind of worry I had with him is that fourth base was just a little too late. But he'll have no problem defending it when he finally gets it up and running. And we are seeing GuMiho start to push into it, get some nice creep clear.
Yeah, that's a huge scan, but I think Rogue's going to defend it.
Yeah, still has a lot of active creep to him there, so he can spread it back.
Ooh. Really nice splits there. Going to take out those Widow Mines. Another drop coming to the third base, it looks like, but will be found.
2-2 nearly finished for GuMiho, so this is going to give him a nice window of opportunity to move on to the creep and start trading very cost efficiently. But he's just kind of lacking the army size because he hasn't committed so much to these drops. As we see in the top right, while that was happening, Mutas were cleaning up yet another drop.
Some free queens donated by Rogue. And the Baneling hits were not that good. He was able to take out 2 of those Widow Mines and about a couple of Marines, but that was about it. Adding some more Banelings now while pushing out here with his Mutas towards the natural. Here we go. Those Vikings are still in position, but this is more Mutas. It's time 15 in the mix.
Yeah, you could probably just destroy that turret too. Uh-oh, not paying attention. Ooh, that was a few too many Mutas lost, I think. Still, enough to deal decent harassment. We are seeing 7 more being added. 3-3 on the way as well as Drilling Claws. For GuMiho. It looks like no 4th anytime soon either. GuMiho are going to be relying on these 3 bases to get something done on the map. But he has found no way in to any base so far.
Very true. As the commitment to Mutas gets higher and higher, we do see, I think, just 1 Thor, added into the mix. Going to be very good at just pushing that away from the army, denying some harass at the natural as well. Finally, the 4th CC is added, but he's being pretty slow about it.
He's got a very strong composition there. I mean, with these Marauders as well as a Thor, it just becomes just that little bit harder to engage on. The one thing is, though, that this creep is just ridiculous at this point. They're not exactly spreading to the 4th base of either side for GuMiho, so still GuMiho has a little bit of room to kind of defend pretty easily.
Where's the Thor? He's got to be helping out with this defense right now. The Mutas are getting a huge amount of damage done.
Yeah.
And they're just going unchecked. All these really STVs are so vulnerable right now. 10 of them going down and not! Mike Reed just had a nice pick up there, though. He does save a lot of them.
Saves a lot still.
Taking some hits, even so.
Normally you'd see a lot more defense with Thors in Medivacs, as they are so hard to deal with and so efficient at defending against Mutas like that. But instead, GuMiho decided to try and run it back and took a lot of damage in that mineral line.
This drop coming over here just get dropped out, but does absolutely nothing. And is totally cleaned up. GuMiho, I have to say, he's not been putting the most pressure out on the map. Rogue has total control right now. There's creep everywhere. He's got 5 super safe bases. And he's up in supply. That Thor, though, taking a lot of those Baneling hits, but Rogue wants to come in from both sides. Here we go.
He tried to pick up that Thor, but there was 1 unit inside the Medivac, so he couldn't do it. And now we see a massive engagement for Rogue, clearing up everything. More and more Banelings coming in. Most of the Mutas surviving. GG. Rogue crushes.
That was a crush, man. I think GuMiho even had 3-3 finished, and he was still able to just crush.
It was just not enough at that point. 4th base was too late for GuMiho. GuMiho found no economic damage throughout the entire game. Rogue just way too solid.
And GuMiho will drop out, the first player to do so in Group C. And it's going to be Rogue versus Myung-Sik, the rematch here in the final match.
Revenge match.
And you know what? I don't know. I like Rogue's chances here. He's really turned it on after going down 1 game to GuMiho. He wins 2 in a row. And now he's going back up against Myung-Sik. You said before he's beaten Classic and CJ Hero.
He's beaten Zest and Hurricane as well.
He's beaten so many good Protosses. Rogue has the tools available.
He just needs to get in that mindset again.
Exactly.
He needs to figure out why Myung-Sik is beating and why he has that mind game on him. It's like that game from Pro League is haunting him. He's like, I got to be ready for like these 6 gateway all-ins after Oracle crap. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not really necessary. Myung-Sik's playing very straightforward, And as long as Rogue has his head about him in this series, I think he will be able to take it. But guys, we're going to go to a 7-minute break first. We'll be right back with some more Naver Star League.